Well, it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate y'all giving us your time. It's like heroic.
Oh, thanks.
I got a family. I'm a single father of 6.
Then it's kind of obvious that you wouldn't be doing any of these horrible things, right? Correct?
Yeah, he did it.
That isn't true. P. Diddy, come on. Say something. This is messed up.
It all began with a bombshell. P. Diddy's hidden secrets are coming to light during a heated conversation. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan take a hard look at the accusations against Diddy's empire, discussing everything from claims of control in the music industry to allegations of manipulation. Joe Rogan also takes aim at the Hollywood elite, calling them out for their role in all of it.
I think I made a mistake.
You gotta get ready. You good?
Alright, P. Diddy, you gotta go. Whose idea was it that P. Diddy on here? So are you a fan of...
As the conversation grows more intense, Musk makes a bold move. He turns his attention to Diddy's inner circle, confronting those accused of helping him hide his secrets. One by one, Musk fires the employees, telling them, "You're out." The move sends shockwaves through the industry. The powerful mogul, once seen as untouchable, now appears vulnerable and on the brink.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have plenty of time to visit him in jail because you is fired.
You're fired.
Don't drop the soap, P. Diddy. Yes. Why does this bottle say it was shipped by P. Diddy? I'm kind of sleepy.
Meanwhile, Rogan delivers a straightforward take on the situation. How much of this don't we know, he asks, clearly stunned. The two of them are in sync as they start putting the pieces together, raising questions about the role Hollywood's elite play in supporting figures like Diddy. For Musk, it's all about control and hidden agendas, and he's determined to keep pushing to expose the dark side of the entertainment industry.
He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll ever hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. Let's watch.
Thank you so much for buying Twitter.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm not exaggerating when I think you changed the course of history. I really do. I really think you made a fork in the road. We were headed down a path of censorship and of control of
In a
narrative.
revealing podcast conversation, Joe Rogan openly expressed his support for Donald Trump. He shared that after hearing Elon Musk's arguments, he found them to be the most convincing endorsement of Trump he'd ever come across. Rogan explained that Musk's perspective made him believe this is exactly what the country needs right now, and he's fully behind Trump's policies. The message was clear: Rogan is throwing his support behind Trump.
That is unprecedented. Forget about what they were able to do back when they had newspapers and the media under control. What they were doing with social media by suppressing information, and when you had a combined government effort, like what they were doing with the laptop story. Well, you have 51 former intelligence agents saying that this is Russian disinformation. Take it offline. And Twitter complied. If you didn't buy that, we wouldn't have known that. We had no idea.
Exactly.
And I think what this goes to show you is how clumsy and counterproductive.
Rogan didn't just stop at politics.
Rogan didn't stop at politics. He also took a moment to thank Musk for his groundbreaking purchase of Twitter. With real gratitude, Rogan praised Musk for shifting the platform away from censorship, calling it a turning point in history. He highlighted how, without Musk's influence, we might never have learned the full story behind key events like the Hunter Biden laptop.
The efforts to censor information on social media made by the government were, and that they have inspired this massive backlash among alternative media figures who formerly were independent-minded people of the left. Joe Rogan is someone who had Bernie Sanders on his show several years ago, who I can't remember if he explicitly endorsed Bernie Sanders, but he was clearly most favorable toward Bernie Sanders. He said a lot of nice things about him. That was his ethos, was a Bernie Sanders left ethos.
Both Rogan and Musk agreed that the government's attempts to control social media and suppress information have sparked a major backlash. Rogan, who once identified as left-leaning, shared how the intense censorship during the pandemic pushed him and many others to the right. This shift in perspective has led him to strongly support Musk's efforts to protect free speech.
And he's not the only one. There are a lot of people, commentators, podcasters who are in that space who have drifted to the right for a variety of reasons. A big one of them is the censorship on social media. Another was COVID and feeling gaslit by experts and sources of authority and information, democratic sources, and that has pushed them to the right to the point where he is now praising Elon Musk and endorsing Donald Trump.
I mean, I never bought that he was ever a progressive. I think he was getting involved in that primary because he had an agenda. You know, I think a lot of folks on the right wanted to see Hillary Clinton go up against Donald Trump because, frankly, Bernie Sanders could have beaten Donald.
Rogan's views have clearly shifted over time. Once known for his independent stance, he now finds himself aligning more with the cultural conservatism represented by Trump. He pointed out that the heavy censorship on social media, particularly during the pandemic, played a key role in shaping his current perspective. Musk's strong opposition to cancel culture and his defense of free speech have resonated deeply with him.
No, I mean, I assume you know them, yeah.
Yes. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of business development at PayPal. Yeah. 24 years ago.
Does he seem nervous to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's terrified of a Trump victory.
Because of the disclosure that would follow?
I think he's certainly ideologically not aligned with Trump anyway, but I think he is concerned about the Epstein situation. Like the DOJ might actually move forward.
Elon Musk discussed the powerful forces at play behind the political scenes, especially if Trump were to win again. He hinted at the possibility of a major public revelation, a list that could expose influential billionaires linked to the scandalous world of Epstein and Diddy. Musk suggested that some of these powerful figures are terrified of the truth coming to light. Could this spark major consequences? The tension is building.
There are a lot of videos, apparently. Those rooms on the island, and I think out in New Mexico, were wired for video.
Right.
And
where's the video? I mean, between Diddy and Epstein, there's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that the people on those videos are lecturing the rest of us about our moral failings, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is that?
Well, I mean, part of how they deflect attention from themselves is by criticizing the morals of others.
Spoke about how some of the billionaires backing Cameron Harris's political campaign are genuinely afraid of what could be revealed if Trump wins. He singled out figures like Reid Hoffman and Bill Gates, who, according to Musk, are reportedly terrified of the public discovering their possible ties to a darker truth. Musk suggested that these connections aren't just political, they could involve shady dealings tied to the world of Epstein.
Yes. So it's sort of like a preemptive moral strike.
Yes.
I mean, as I said, I think those who are saying Trump is a threat to democracy are themselves actually the threat to democracy.
It feels like we're getting to a place where the rest of us know too much. Is this, do you know what I mean? I mean, it's easier to live in a society where you don't really know what the people in charge are doing or why they're doing it. But now, thanks, I would say, largely to X.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say that.
Yeah.
We do know what.
Conversation took a darker turn when Musk revealed that Epstein and Diddy might have a vast collection of videos, possibly thousands of hours, capturing events on Epstein's private island and in New Mexico. These tapes, Musk suggested, could hold the key to unraveling Hollywood's deepest secrets. He pointed out the irony that many of the people involved in these scandals are the same ones who lecture the public about morality. It's a level of hypocrisy that Musk found hard to ignore. How bizarre is that?
Just like a few minutes ago, yet another Diddy party participant. What? What do you guys think Elon knows? Does he know something? Is he trying to tell us that almost everybody that's supporting Kamala attended a Diddy party or something? Because that's insane if it is true. But now the fans didn't take this lightly because they started to remind him that he always hung out with Diddy too. Elon Musk, that is.
All right, you keep asking me about J-Lo, so let's talk J-Lo and P. Diddy. Actually, Puff Daddy, because that's what he was called back then. Let's take it back to 1999. The two of them go to a club, Club New York in Manhattan. Also, Puff's bodyguard and a rapper named Shine. They all go to the club. Something happens, some kind of who knows what, and 3 people get shot. One of the people is a woman by the name of Natanya Rubin. She says Combs is the one who shot her, that Puff is the one that shot her. And she's actually renewing these accusations right now. But J-Lo was there. She was in the car. She was dating him at the time. He was a producer on her incredible album at the time, On the Six. Don't tell me you don't like it. I'm sorry, but it was great. She was held by authorities for 14 hours, handcuffed to a bench in a Midtown police precinct. He gets charged, but later he's acquitted. You know who does go to jail? The rapper Shine. His name is Jamal Barrow, and he was found guilty of 5 charges, including possession of a weapon. He served 9 years, but nobody ever did any time or was convicted of the actual shooting. In 2011, like years later, Puff settles a lawsuit with all 3 people, including Rubin, who were shot during that incident for an undisclosed amount. That's according to Reuters. Yeah, so Natanya Rubin knows something. And J-Lo, she knows something too.
Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying